Hello, dear friends. Today I'm going to talk about symptoms of soul neglect in life and how to reconnect. So, how have you ever sank? Had that sinking feeling on your way to work. Your chest feels tight, your energy is gone, and deep down you just know something's just not right. This isn't just stress. It's a sign that you're not in touch with your soul. Your soul is being neglected. Welcome, dear ones, to Soul Centered Living. Today, my name is Barbara. I walk this path as a soul guide, not because I know all the answers, but because I've lived all the questions. So I just have a few notes here, if you're wondering. So what is soul neglect? Soul neglect happens when you just push away the signs that you've been you've been feeling and sensing, and you've just been fobbing them off and not you're on autopilot. You're chasing deadlines and money or external approval, like on the outside, while ignoring what's deep down inside. Your need for meaning and all those things within you, creativity and connection with the soul. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow drift, a quiet disconnection from who you really are. What are the symptoms of soul neglect? Now, we just explored this a little bit, so you'll know what it is and if you're feeling this way. But like my heart goes out to you if you're feeling this way, because I've gone through it myself in jobs, and a lot of jobs I just walked away from. But now I haven't worked out in the world of jobs in a good number of years because of these feelings that I've had, the panic attacks and all that, And as soon as I gave up all that went away, So it's a lot to do with the work environment and work culture. I find, like, I love working, but I can't stand work culture. It's draining. It's negative, and when you're an empath, it really affects you badly. So the symptoms of a soul neglect in working life are you're constantly fatigued. No matter what you do, no matter what vitamins you take, no matter what nourishing food you eat, you just feel fatigued all the time. You feel sleepy and drained, even when you have a good night's sleep. It's not because your body is tired, it's your soul crying out for rest and purpose. You feel loss of joy. Work feels like a heavy weight, you can't be enthusiastic and, put your time into the work that and you're a professional person, you know how to do your job, but you just can't do it because of your energy levels. And now the next little bit. It's not something you're feeling this negativity because you can't contribute to, and make a positive contribution to your job. So your work in your job gets affected. Even a small task feel meaningless, like things you're just so used to doing for years, they don't seem the same anymore. But this is a lot to do with our awakening as well too, that mundane jobs just don't work with people anymore. Excuse me. Anxiety, like I said, anxiety or panic attacks. When on the Sunday and you're, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and the build up to going to work on Monday morning, and you get those panic attacks, and when you're heading into work the next day, and your soul is actually crying out to you, for you to change what you're doing, change your behaviours, stop doing the, but some people can't stop doing the job because they need the finances, but you find a way to make money without having to, do the 9 to 5 or whatever hours you do, if you are suffering like this, it's not worth it. It's this environment, this work, toxic work, and all work environments really are toxic because they don't align with the soul. It's all out there. They don't support your inner needs. It's just all out there. It's like the work environment just taken from you and not. The only thing it gives back to you is financial support, but that's all. It doesn't give you any spiritual or soulful support. It helps. It makes you, when you're in toxic work environment, you help. That you become disconnected from creativity. You're going in 9, having your lunch, coming home at 5, having your dinner, unless you're doing something in between to be creative, and and that's really important, to do something different other than working. You stop daydreaming, and this is a big thing that's actually really important, to daydream and to stare out the window. And we've been brought up in our families, our parents have, and I've probably done it to my children, stop daydreaming, get and do something productive, So we've been actually just brought up that way, not to daydream. And daydreaming is very important for our inner spiritual support, and our soul as well. Your work drains your imagination instead of feeding it. Like I said, the toxic working out. You feel numb. You cope by scrolling endlessly, and we've all done it. Like at some stage that we've been scrolling on our phone and binge watching Netflix, or no, I won't say anything about YouTube, but you know what I mean. It's just, watching these things is okay if you set a period aside. Say watch a YouTube for a certain amount of time, and then stop and go and do something productive, or go do something productive first, and then have your little treat of Netflix or YouTube. But it's important that you control the amount of time that you're doing these things, and do something not productive but creative, because we don't want to be too productive on the outside. We want to be productive at the soul level. So we binge watch, overeating, just being bored, and overeating, and probably not eating the right things, or any habit that helps you escape the reality that your soul feels trapped. So it's like your soul telling you that this behavior is not right for you, and that if you change, everything else will change along with it. Your eating habits, is your creativity, and you'll just be so much happier. Like, I know I'm so much happier, since not working. Now I find it very hard to timetable myself. I can, like I say, I can be watching Netflix or YouTube and just forget about it. So you need to be a little bit harder on yourself when you do give up your day job, and just be. You will become a better person. Like, I even feel, and I know I look better, hopefully. Physical symptoms. Now, you might get headaches, stomach issues, or you feel burnt out. Just your glass is full. You can't do any more. You can't give any more. So your body needs to rest. The body speaks when the soul is unheard. And another thing I want to say here is I'm not a doctor or anything, so it's important, if you do have physical symptoms, to check with your doctor, your healthcare provider, in case it's an underlying condition, just to get it checked and make sure everything is okay. Why do we ignore these signs? We've been taught that success means endurance, so we're told to push ourselves harder, ignore the whispers of the soul, and climb the ladder of success. But it's not really a ladder of success; it's a ladder of, collapse, if you could put it that way, because it, if we neglect our soul and our spiritual self, there's no going back. So we have to find a pretty a good balance between the two. But the truth is, ignoring these symptoms comes with cost. Your health, your relationships, and your joy. What is your joy? Find your joy. And if you found your joy and you know your joy, just make a comment on this and let me know what your joy is. My joy is just chatting here and just putting out this message to people like yourself. So hopefully if you get this message and it means something to you, you'll subscribe to my channel, and you can like and share if you want to, and share with your family and friends and our work colleagues as well, so they know about the soul and if they're going through these symptoms as well. Now, how do we begin reconnecting? Pause and acknowledge how you're feeling. Just say, these feelings are not right. I shouldn't be feeling this way. So what can I do? The first step is simply noticing. Sit with the discomfort instead of numbing it. Now, just be in touch with how you're feeling and let the feelings just flow through you, and say, I acknowledge, actually physically say, I acknowledge these feelings. Ask soulful questions. What part of my life feels most drained right now? And what part makes me feel alive? So it's your joy. It's finding your joy, and even your pastimes. I'll just pull this page off. Oops, on the camera. Just what your joy is, and your creativity and your love. Just go out in nature or something like that. Create small sacred spaces. All it takes is 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Maybe before work, journaling at lunch break, or walking in nature, after work, or on your way to work, could be on your way to work, it doesn't have to be, this or that, it's whatever way you feel in that particular moment. And this helps to reopen the door to your soul and to be one. How amazing is that? Realignment over perfection. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. Like I says, if you need to be financially, you need the finances and that. But you can start making soul-centered choices.